everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Realities. As always, it's Noor, and as promised, I am going to talk about Love Island again this week with Van from Best Week Ever podcast. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
You know, this show has drained me. I will say this. I'm
I feel like I
exhausted.
need to take some anger management classes because it's been raging me on just people's opinions in the comment section. I need to
Like,
stop.
yeah, I'm just exhausted. The commentary, I think, and this, we know this from being in the Bravo world for so long, is I do think that the audience has ruined it.
Especially this season, you can totally tell that the Bravo audience viewers have been weighing in on their comments as well because I don't remember this sort of hunt since Scandival.
No, truly. And I think that I was listening to one of the podcasts I was listening to. Honestly, I don't know which one it was, but somebody mentioned how, Love Island USA and UK were kind of like these niche things that not all reality TV watchers watched. And then once Ariana came in, of course, season 6 was incredible. And she brought with her a lot of, the audience from the Bravo space. But I think with her came this need to make the show so bombastic, which is not necessary.
Yeah, you can definitely tell they did that this season because I didn't know. I'm a first time watcher from last year of Love
Me too.
Island season 6, and I just started UK, which is like a whole nother different subject.
Okay, are you loving
This
UK?
season.
Because I feel like maybe I should
Yes, I
watch
am
UK
loving
instead.
it. You should. It's such a great binge watch too because it's a soap opera, and I feel like they're doing it the right way. And I
Yeah.
feel like don't come for me like people who have watched Love Island in the past, but I just feel like this is the UK one is what it should have been for USA. Also, going back to what I mentioned about Ariana saying that it's the brand new game, the male game, like standing on business, that
Mhm.
was like brand new. That's never been on Love Island before. And I think it's because the Islanders are just not being really honest with themselves and to everyone else.
To each other even. So this
Yeah.
week on the show, we had the aftermath of the heart rate challenge. We had this new stand on business challenge. We had a burst your bubble challenge. And we got to say goodbye, a mass exodus from the island. We got rid of 5 people, right? 5? Honestly, I don't know how many of the Casa More people left, and I don't think I care.
Yeah, the only one that I was upset seeing leave was Andriana, just because I truly believe that she was there for the right reasons. And yeah, but I'm sure
Yeah.
we'll get into it.
Yeah, okay. So we'll start from the beginning of the week, the heart rate challenge. Now, what I will say is that now that we have people that were there that are no longer in the villa, I do need somebody to go on the internet and tell me what it was that of Ace and Huda did, because I know from previous challenges that Huda loves to put her tongue on a man's pants. He loves to put her mouth on a crotch. Okay. She loves to do that. She did it with Jeremiah. So I think that that's, besides just her sitting on his face, I think that she may have licked a crotch.
And she went hard for Jalen in the X challenge too. I just feel like she's never really held back herself. She was just judging Jeremiah all the time. It was very
Yes.
contradictive of her.
Oh God, she's just, guys, I can't deal with her though. Now there's a video of her lip syncing to a song and mouthing the N word.
That's what I
Guys.
wanted to
Oh, you
surprise
wanted to
you
tell
with.
me? Yeah,
Yeah,
before we
that
started
was the
recording, you were like, something else happened. I was like, oh God, I can't take it anymore. We got to get rid, throw the whole thing in the ocean. Okay. Send them all back. Okay. Send them back. Let's start over. Okay. Let's start over with just the Costa boys that are left and minus Zach. Zach can go. And Alandria and Shelly. That's it. Those
teeth.
are the only, huh?
Who teeth? Mr.
Teeth,
Teeth.
teeth and bangs. His little stupid ass bitchy bangs. Okay. By the way, guys, Pepe has the same bangs. Okay. What is with the boys in these bangs? I don't like them. I said this last week and I feel like you will totally understand it. The boys at the Jersey Shore in the 2000s, when they did not have their hair in product, had those bangs. That's
Y-
what that haircut is.
It is very Italian before you gel it back up. That's
So
exactly.
completely. It's completely. Do you know how horrific it was to see a man that you thought was hot come out of the pool and then to see his little baby bangs? Ooh,
It's
hideous.
that is the look though. I see it a lot in Love Island UK. Like there's this islander named Shay, and that is like the look where it's just like the baby bang hair like
Wait.
pulled brushed down.
But is Shay the one who also got a hair transplant? Like all these Islanders, by the way, you know how like girls are, there's very young girls getting too much Botox. There's very young men going to Turkey and getting hairline
Yeah,
surgery.
there's his name is Harry. Actually, that's so funny, the irony. But yeah, they have pictures of him before his Turkish hair transplant and it I don't know, I feel like he could have pulled it off if he was just bald. Bald
Yeah.
is hot, guys.
Bald is very hot. I think that I need to bring back bald. Okay. Bring back being bald. A bald with a beard. Hello. Very
Yeah.
hot. Oh my God. Just a little side note. I was at the shore yesterday and I was there with we were there like me and my husband and my kids, and then we were there with like our we call them our unicorn family. They're like the one couple where like the husbands get along, the wives get along, the kids get along. It's perfect. And we like love to travel with them and do things with them. So me and my friend we were sitting on like the sand and the kids were in the water with the dads. And this this man walked across us that we both stopped talking. And I'm never one to be like, "Oh, a man is hot," cuz fuck men, okay? But this man, I was like, did he come out of a book? He was so incredibly hot. We both just froze. We were like, "Holy shit." Was just he had a beard. Honestly, I don't know if he had hair, but he was ripped and he had the juiciest thighs I have ever seen on a man. I was like, I want to get crushed. That is a hot man. It was a bombshell, a hot new bombshell walked across Belmar because I was like, oh my God, I can't. I stopped breathing. I was like, oh my God, I've never been taken aback by hot. And in fact, the whole time I was like, I wish my husband was with me so that he could see him also because he's so hot. Anyway, sidebar.
I'm so
Go.
jealous that you got to go down the shore. Like it has no justice from like Santa Cruz where I'm from. So like I can totally feel what you're saying about like just seeing bombshells down the Jersey Shore. That's such a degular day
It really
in the
is
Jersey Shore.
so it really is, like, you guys it was just like, the fact that on Friday I was in the city and then yesterday I was at the ocean was just like, I don't think I wanna live anywhere else, and I'm sorry that you don't live here anymore.
It just reminds me of like JWoww trying to wake up Snooki on Memorial Day weekend.
It's
Like there's so many
meatheads.
yeah.
Meatheads. What you call them? Meatheads? I think
I
that's what they
think there
used to
was
call them.
meatheads, yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, exactly. Okay, going back to this stupid ass show. So after the heart rate challenge, Huda went around and we'll talk about each of the main people and like their journey this week. Okay, so after the heart rate challenge, Huda went around being mopey eyed, weirdo behavior. I cannot stand this. Okay. When you piss somebody off and then they say you pissed me off, and then the rest of the time you sit around in the corner, mopey, mopey, mopey. I'm gonna be mopey. I'm gonna be mopey. Everybody hates me. Am I a bad person? Would this be easier if I was ugly?
I couldn't
And
believe she asked Chris that. That was just like, "What are we doing here?"
what do you
He's
mean
like,
by that?
"What? No."
He even was like, "This is wild." And then after the stand on business challenge, all the girls are debriefing. She's sitting in the corner, wrapped up in Chris's jacket. Oh, nobody talk to me. I just need a little bit of space. I can't. I love Andriana. I love Andriana. Is that how you pronounce her name?
Alondra.
Andriana. No, no, no.
Oh,
Uh,
Rihanna, yeah.
yeah.
Adriana.
I loved her because she was like, okay, yeah, she needs space. Leave her alone. Like, don't talk to her. She's a weirdo. And then she's going around slamming cabinets. Guys, her. slamming cabinets and closing drawers and having breakfast in the speakeasy, all that shit. That is the equivalent of her running around the villa calling Jeremiah a bitch ass pussy or whatever it was. Okay. It's the same exact behavior. She might not be yelling at the girls, but she's still creating toxicity in the villa. Okay. And I don't like it. And then she had the nerve when Shelly and Alondria sat with her. She said, I was really scared about what you were going to say to me. Why are you scared? Why are you scared? You're the one terrorizing all of us. And I want to be mindful of using that word because she is Arab and I don't like that word being used against Arab people, but I am Muslim and I can use it sort of. She is terrorizing them emotionally. I'm not calling her a terrorist. She is terrorizing them emotionally. Okay.
She's bringing down the villa. I mean, I feel like the Islanders thought that they took away the cancer, which was Jeremiah,
No.
and they were giving her a chance. And it's like, it's such a slap in the face for all those Huda people who were like, she grew within the 3 days that she was in the villa. She's been growing. And it's like, no, this is who she is to her core. And
Yes.
like, this is what America was trying to tell you in that first voting challenge.
Exactly. And the thing is that Huda is the type of person, she first of all, she this bitch cannot read the room. Okay. She cannot read the room. And I tried to have as much space and empathy for her as I could. I was like, you know what? She comes from a Muslim Arab family. I bet she grew up being like, made to feel terrible because she was a sexual being. Allegedly, she is what the internet has been calling a midnight ballerina. A midnight ballerina. I did not know midnight ballerina was code for stripper. That is so fucking funny. So I was like, you know what? She had a baby before marriage. Like, I will have a lot of space for this girl because she probably was ostracized in her conservative community. And so she's coming into this space and she's trying to find her people. So she is growing up being a sexual being, goes on a very sexual show. But the thing with Huda is that she came on this very sexual show and tried to play mommy and daddy. She tried to be like, me and Jeremiah are getting married tomorrow. She tried to act like she was she was then acting too prude for the sexy girls. And then now when she's acting, she didn't know how to behave. So she just everything she does, she just overcompensates too hard the other way. And it does not work. So she cannot read the room. So I try to have a lot of space for her. And then as I continue to watch her and how she functions, here's what happened. She was a monster, a menace. And then the girls were like, we're going to give you another chance. And she thinks that because they gave her another chance, that there's some sort of a sisterhood. But it's like, no, we're just giving you space because we're going to assume that maybe you need a little space to figure out who you are. But that does not mean that we're friends. We are not friends. These girls are not your friend. And then now that she's like not going around yelling at people, she thinks that she's like, she should be tolerated. She's like they tolerated her and she thinks that there was a sisterhood. And now that she's not being a total monster, she thinks that they love her so much. And it's like, no, they just tolerated you and they do not like you. And don't think for 1 second that anybody here likes you because she also moves very much for male attention. Have you ever seen when they're like all sitting around in the morning having chats and eating breakfast? I've never seen Huda sitting with the other girls and talking to them.
I was exactly going to point out this very same fact that, like, I don't think she really got to know the girls as much when she was with
Mm-mm.
Jeremiah. Like, she
Mm-hmm.
was just with Jeremiah the whole entire time. And now she's forced to be in like this sisterhood. Cause yeah, right from the get go, she's like, I'm mom, Jeremiah's dad. And I was like, ugh.
Yeah. Ugh.
Like the kids went to play while we went on a date. It just always made me be like, it rolled my eyes so hard. But yeah, no, Hood is just I and it's so sad that like on the internet, the grace that the girls have been giving her are now known
Yuck.
as like being mean girls. And I'm like, where have you been?
No.
Like, they've been so nice to her. Like, I think a little too nice to her, if anything.
Yes. Yeah, and I think that it's a lesson that when somebody is a monster, you don't give them another chance. You just say, "You know what? This is not for me. You need help. You need to get the fuck out of the villa and go do whatever because this is not the space for you." Um And then, by the end of this week, like, she's so excited because Chris is well liked and she thinks that she's well liked, and the stupid burst your bubble chat. I was just like, guys, again, throw the whole thing away. I'm not interested.
I know. It's especially, I know we're gonna get to Zach and Amaya soon,
Ugh,
but like just the men and like Huda thinking that America loves them because of their partner's ranking. And I'm like, that has nothing to do with you. We're rooting for
no,
Amaya. And Chris
no.
was pretty I liked Chris when he was like going for Shelly. And
Yeah,
Huda kind of ruined that. So that's why I have some hard feelings on Huda.
totally.
But I also get the grace of like she came in fighting, like you describing her life background,
Yeah.
the disadvantages, that she
Hmm.
had to go through. I'm pretty sure that she is just always on the defense, always fighting back.
Exactly. Exactly. And because she is always on the defense fighting back, she thinks that even in situations where nobody's coming for her, she thinks that she needs to fight them. And it's like, no, you're weird. You're a weird person, okay? And you need to stop eating toasties. I love Delandra being like, "You're not a bad person, but you do too much."
I love
Ugh.
Alandria, the voice of the season,
Oh
carrying me
God,
through.
yes, but girl, like she is a total example of some of the and this is a Virgo problem. We love to give advice, but then we don't often take it. Oh my God. Man, last time we were together and we had dinner, we talked about how unfortunately Blake Lively and I share almost the same birthday. And you you held my hand and said, You're not you're not her. And guess what? Huda's birthday, 2 days after mine. I was like, no.
And I'm here to tell you, you are not them, okay?
But to go back to Landria, like, okay, her journey, right? Heart rate challenge, whatever. She, for some reason, made out with Taylor. Taylor was like, I was trying to be respectful. That's why, like, no, you only kiss Clark because I don't think you know how to kiss girls. Okay. And I keep saying this. He's a seventh grader. Okay. I used to think he was a very tall fifth grader. I will move you up to seventh grade because seventh grade boys are really weird. Fifth grade boys are still like kind of kids. Seventh grade boys are weirdos. And that's what Taylor is. So after that, for some reason, Alandra was still like, Taylor was like, oh, yeah, I'm still going to explore that, which I was like, I don't think so. And then we had the stand on business challenge where she finally let him have it. And I was like, good for you, but you did embarrass yourself for multiple weeks. You should have had this energy against this man when he leapt over you to hug Nicholas in back when he came back from to the villa. Okay. Like I saw somebody posted a clip of from very early in the season, Alandra is making him breakfast and Ace is talking to Taylor. And Taylor's like, the physical connection is just not there. I'm just like not into her physically. And Ace is like, you're going to get rid of a really good girl if you don't like figure out a way to make this work for yourself. And I was like, oh, so he's just not attracted to her, which is crazy.
I know we should blame a lot on Taylor, but should we blame some of it on Ace just being
I
like
would love to
the
blame
lead?
everything on
Yeah.
him.
Just like planting seeds since the beginning. Just
Yeah.
planting seeds on like Jeremiah, having the boys be against him. He did it with Nick, where like
Yeah.
Nick had to speak out for Jeremiah. Like, I really do think that if Ace didn't have his comments or wasn't in people's heads, like the season would have gone way better for him as
Yeah.
well.
Honestly, for him as well. That's why he was so confused at the end of this burst your bubble challenge, why he was at the very end. And I was like, hello. It's because you're not loved. Nobody really likes the way you're moving. And you keep lying about your height. And look, I'm married to a short king. I'm only 5'3" myself. I don't mind a short man, but I hate a man who lies about his height. Okay. It's gross. Okay. Just admit it. Now, Austin, not that I believe him, he is a weirdo bigot. He did get kicked out of the island. Now he's on the internet. Somebody said, how does it feel to be a racist bigot? He said, are you fucking kidding me? I have a tattoo of a black woman on my stomach.
There was no yes. answer to that. I was like, "He didn't answer the question." He's so annoying,
Thanks.
but apparently he's 5'6", ace on a good day. Did you see
That's what Austin
that?
said.
And
But
Taylor's
okay.
not that tall either. I think because he's lanky, he appears to be tall because he's only a couple inches higher than Ace. So I'm thinking
Yeah.
he's probably 5'9", 5'10", which is no big deal. I'm also married to a short king as well. Like, they're
Yeah.
beautiful. Leave them alone.
Yeah.
But I do get annoyed of an Ace being like, "I'm 5'10" and you're 6'5", and I'm like, "Sir, no."
I don't I don't think so.
Yeah.
Taylor almost got kicked off at the end of this week and then they saved him. What did you think about him getting saved by the Islanders?
Oh, Sierra's having by far the worst week ever. I've
Oh,
already had her on my
I was
list.
actually gonna ask you at the end who you think which of the Islander is having the best and the worst week. I'm so glad you think it's Sierra. Let's get into the Sierra thing. So yeah, Sierra was the last vote basically to save Taylor.
I mean, I'm all for girl code, but, like, you went on the podium and talked about your alliance of being a girl's girl, and then you're gonna go and stand behind the guy that's against your girl. I did not understand, and her excuse was like, "Oh, I didn't wanna upset Nick." That is not girl's girl code. Um,
Mm-mm.
Worst week for me, and of course, what's appeared online where she double downs. I don't know if you saw that, where
Yes.
someone
Okay.
actually, please
Oh,
tell
God.
your, because I can't even, I'm, like, stumbling my words. She was my favorite, and then to this to happen, I was like, "Yeah, this is the worst week ever."
She reminds me a lot of Nicole from last season. Nicole from last season came in very polished, very like knew exactly what she was doing, but there was something a little bit like produced about her initially. But I still loved her. I was like, you know what? I actually was like rooting for Sierra and Shelly to be together. I was like so excited for them, whatever. But Sierra had not once but twice used a term that rhymes with, in the words of Cara Berry, of everybody's business but mine. Um, she used the
Wink.
term, it rhymes with Twinkie to describe her eyes, an anti-Asian slur, and she used it twice. And then somebody called her out on it in a chat, in a direct message, and she said, "Oh, I'm so glad I don't use it that way."
Don't use it at all.
And
Don't
then
use it at all.
now here's the thing. So people are saying that she should be kicked out of the villa, which I agree. I think that that we need to have a conversation with her, or something needs to happen. Like, allegedly there's family members visiting this week. I'm like, okay, is somebody going to pull her aside and say, "Girl, the person that you got to run your social media is a menace." And number two, what is going on with you using this term? You cannot use it. Sierra, might be a good idea for us to pack your bags and let's just take you home, because that is really bad. Now, I will say a couple of things. People keep being like, if Yulisa we don't need an even if Yulisa wasn't there, okay? Even if she never came on the show, even if she never got kicked out, somebody using a slur against another group of people should be getting kicked out of the villa, period. That's it. The other thing is, there's a whole bunch of people being like, "I didn't even know that this was a bad word, so we should give her some grace." Well, you know now, okay? You know now. It's time
Yeah.
to put it to rest. People who are not Asian, please do not talk about whether or not you think it's a bad term or not, okay? It's not for you to decide. It's crazy. And then, did you see that Sierra, and I don't know if this is real or not, because people sometimes read too much into stuff, but in this Burst Your Bubble challenge, as we started to see that Amaya was getting a lot of viewers love for good reason, people feel like Sierra is now going to cozy up to Amaya. But she also defended Amaya. She was the only one to get up and comfort Amaya when Amaya was sobbing her eyes out, getting yelled at by all those people during the stand up business challenge.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Sierra has always been there for the girls. I mean, we've kind of seen her
Hmm.
talk to Huda, like talk
Yeah.
to Amaya, like you said. So I wouldn't really take it that far, but it's also like going back to like Scandival and Ariana, it's the digging for me that's
Yeah.
really like making me not like this show. Cause like if understandable. This is from like months ago. That means someone like went in and actually like searched. Same for like the
Mhm.
Huda saying the N
Mhm.
word. I'm just like, can I just enjoy my little silly show sometimes and not have this get too serious? You know what I mean? Because now we're like towards the end where we are going
Yeah.
to be meeting family. And yeah, I do have a strong feeling that Sierra should be deservingly so pulled out. But
Yeah.
I don't like this gang mob of just like cancel, cancel, like just everyone
Yeah.
fighting. I don't know about like I've just been like I don't even put myself in the comments. But yeah, it's just like making it not fun anymore for me.
And I think a lot of it is happening because people just don't like how their fave is being treated on the show. But I think,
Yes.
like, ultimately, though, if you don't like the way your fave is being treated on the show, you know, you got to go on the app and vote. Like, that's really all you can do on this show. That's all you can do. That's it. Like, just get on the app and fucking vote, man. And like, the hatred that Shelly and Alandra get is unreal. Like, I don't, the fact that there was no grace given to them, like, all those two did is say, hey, Huda, I'm going to need some space from you before we have a conversation because we're not really, it's not cool. Right. And people are like, these girls are so mean. I know. Do I think Sierra can be a little bit mean and like a little not mean? I can see that Sierra comes off a little condescending to some of these people, but that's because I do think that a lot of the viewers are very young. And I think that when they see a polished person get up there and speak, to them, that's like, you're talking down to me. Well, maybe you should get a little smarter and then you won't feel like that person's talking down to you. You know, that's kind of that. But also with Sierra, where she lost points for me was that explanation of why did Shelly, Olandria, and Sierra vote to get Hannah off. It didn't make any sense, but I will also remind you that Hoda was also involved in that. So I don't know why you guys are anti just those three girls. Hoda also decided to get rid of Hannah.
Yeah, that was a terrible answer because the real answer is because they didn't want Hannah and Peppa to win.
Yeah. Let's
Like
be real.
they're also calculating this season, which is like I don't want that to happen. I want like a Kayla and Aaron where like two dum dums are just like making bad decisions because they're
Yeah.
thinking with their penis.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
I don't want like an influencer coming on here and being like, I'm going to win the show and I'm going to make sure that
Yeah.
like when I get the chance to vote someone off, it's because it's a win for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're playing Love Island like it's the challenge, and I don't like that. I really
Yeah.
don't.
Someone
That's
mentioned it close to being like Survivor because they're in an island.
yeah, honestly, it's like, no, this is a show where hot people, it's like I keep saying, it's like my Barbies, okay? It's hot people just
Mhm.
making out with each other and deciding whether or not that they want to like continue dating after they leave the villa. That's really all it is. That's all the show is supposed to be. I really don't need, like, would I be sad if Cordell and Serena were to break up? Of course, I would be very sad about it. But also that's a reality because they're both just in their 20s and you're allowed to break up with somebody that you just started dating in your 20s. That's normal. That's a regular human experience, okay? Um Let's talk about Maya Papaya. Maya Papaya's had a week. Okay. She came in, she got yelled at by all those people in the stand on business challenge. Okay. I hated that. It was so fucked up. And I know that Sierra did get up and comfort her, but I was not okay with the fact that everybody just was listening to these men say stuff. And like, I don't know if that was edited out, but I remember last season during movie night, Leah and all the girls turning and looking at Kaylor and being like, "Do you want me to go and yell at him? I will yell at him right now for you. I will go and scream at him." Like, they would always do stuff like that, right? And I'm not saying that those girls were perfect by any means, but I do feel like this is Loveless Island, okay? They're allegedly not having a movie night this season because I think that with movie night, the couples that do like each other are going to end up hating each other, and we're not going to have anybody to vote for.
Wait, are you kidding me? There's no movie night? I feel like they people need to see Huda's like how she was toward, I know like Jeremiah's gone, but I really want the Islanders to see how like Huda was behind closed doors. Like she, not to, I did not like Jeremiah either, but like the guy didn't have a chance because she just like dominated the whole entire situation.
Apparently, he said in an interview that she used to throw food at him.
See, I and it's so funny because I think I said this on my podcast where I was like, she looks like she hits her significant other on the
Yeah.
reg.
Yeah. And
Not to
I
like
like
laugh about it. It's just like
no, she
that's
does.
like where my mind went.
Yeah, like it was just it was a lot, and I want to see movie night for that. I want to see. I also think one of the reasons they're not going to do movie night is because I do think that if Sierra was to see the way Nick and Olandra kissed, she would have a big fucking problem. I don't think that she'd be able to like hold back her. I'm a cool girl and I'm like totally fine with this, whatever. I think Sierra is also in this show to win it. Like that conversation that Sierra and Nick had where they're like, Nick's like, so what does closed off mean? And she's like, I'm not saying that we'd be boyfriend and girlfriend, but like we would see where it goes. Excuse me, it does mean boyfriend and girlfriend. What are you talking about?
Well, maybe
That's
it
the
does need to implode because then that will mean that Maya and Brian have a chance because Brian did
yes.
have like a close conversation. I forgot who it was. It was it with Chris where he was like saying I'm getting more feelings towards Amaya. And I
Yes.
would love Amaya to see that. I'm getting upset now that we're not having movie night. This is
This is what people
ruining
who
my
watched
show.
I know this is what people who watched After Sun said. Now, apparently the finale is when is the finale?
Sunday. The
No.
right?
What?
Because
No.
Maura Higgins, because Sophie Monk did say that this is her last After Sun Saturday, and then next Saturday, which is going to be the last one, is with Maura Higgins. So she's going to be back from the Traders, which I'm excited about. But yeah, I think next Sunday will be the 13th. Is that, am I correct?
Yeah, no, that's crazy. That's not enough time. What are we doing? I'm so upset about this. But listen,
You got Love
if
Island UK, babe.
I know, okay, I'm gonna watch Love Island UK. Let's talk about Amaya Papaya. She had a terrible beginning of the week. Fuck Zach and his dumbass bangs and his dumbass teeth. Uh, also, fuck Ace. Ace being like, "Oh, I was just like clear with my boundaries." No, dude, you recoupled with her. You chose her. Immediately sat down after the recoupling and said, "I don't kiss outside of challenges. I don't like you calling me babe. I don't like any of this stuff." Then, sir, what are we doing here? You should have picked Shelly because that's the person who you've always just really wanted to be with. That's annoying. And then for her to then be with Zach, who's like, "Oh, I wasn't really comfortable with you kissing me, but I just did it anyway." What? No, get out of here. Get the hell out of here. Now, Brian. Okay, now let me tell you something. There's just something so lovely about Amaya being in a house dress. Okay, that's a house dress. That dress that she had on in the speakeasy, hair and braids. I'm assuming no makeup, just chilling, talking Hispanic man to Hispanic woman. Okay, and then
Loved
making
it.
out in a house dress. Are you kidding me? Oh my god! It like opened up something in my brain that I was like, oh, this is hot. I don't know why this is hot, but
It was
him making out,
spicy.
it was so spicy. And then he found her butt in that house dress, and I said, oh my god, girls, like I think it's that it's this idea that like I don't know, like you don't really you can be in a literal moo and a man will still want to fuck you, and sometimes that's what I want, you know. Oh, it was
Yeah,
so
it gave me
lovely.
like Salma Hayek vibes when she was with her like muumuu dress, and yeah, she looked gorgeous.
I mean, it was amazing, and he, like, really is into her, but you guys, I am worried about my papaya's feelings because I don't want her to just be pursued because she's everybody's favorite per the, burst your bubble challenge. That's what scares me. I don't like that.
I know. I wonder if like everybody's kissing her ass right now at the villa, making her breakfast and just being like, "What are you wearing today, Maya?"
I'm gonna be so mad at that because she's getting those deals. She's getting those deals right out of the villa. She's
Poppy
Poppy
made a
apparently
drink. Oh my
Poppy made an Amaya
god.
papaya flavored drink, and I was like, Poppy, are you gonna pay her for that? Excuse me? There's
Apparently
all
they
these
do.
things
They
happening.
were giving those vendors, remember? Was it during
Oh,
Christmas?
vending machines.
Like
Yeah.
just like anybody.
Yeah.
So
I
I
mean,
hope
I will
so.
say this. Is Poppy the probiotic soda? Is that what Poppy is?
Yes, like the gut one.
Yeah, that's smart because papayas are amazing for your gut. Guys, a ripe papaya and a black coffee when I'm on vacation, honey.
That's a good breakfast combo though.
It's an incredible breakfast combo and it keeps you regular when you are on vacation eating a bunch of garbage all day long. And especially if you're on a tropical vacation and you're about to get into a bathing suit afterwards, that's all you need. So that is a very smart idea. But I just, I worry for her. But I will say with Brian, at least we do know that we have evidence of him sticking up for her in the beginning during that stand on business challenge and saying like this is how we talk to each other and this is part of our culture and Amaya hitting us with the if I'm a book you don't like don't read me, if I'm not your cup of tea don't drink me, all of these little variations. I just like do I think that you could have benefited from a little bit of speech therapy as a kid? Of course I do, because you keep saying things like opportunely and vulgarly and
Yeah, and
gratuitously.
respect. That's how I
Well,
know she's like from New York, Dominicana. I was just like, oh my god, she sounds like my cousins.
she didn't say
Or like
apocalypse at one point. She said apocalypse. And I was like, I love you. That's right, my
I
ESL baby girl.
yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, she reminds me of like my fellow classmate from my speech impediment classes back in the
Yeah,
day.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's all of us that were like, you can't pronounce your V's and W's. Leave me alone. I speak two different languages.
And I'm always like, "Can you roll your R's?" Okay, done.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's right. We did say goodbye finally to two actual terrorists, Austin and TJ. TJ allegedly a Andrew Tater, and Austin, who is just the worst. He was apparently retweeting anti-Haitian stuff before he got to the villa, super pro Trumper, whatever. We did get rid of them, so that was great. I was really happy that you know we did get to see that. That was that made me excited. I was like, okay, well, I do believe in justice, so I guess it was like the equivalent of like the way that I felt when I went to see Beyonce. I was like, "Ugh, it's fine to be American, I guess."
Yeah. I know, this is when we're like, "Oh, voting does matter because
Yeah.
when I see Love Island, I'm just like, "See what happens when our voting actually matters?"
Like TJ and Austin getting kicked out was like Zoran winning like the primary. I was like, okay, I can take a deep breath of fresh. Okay, it's fine. It's okay. Um, yeah, this week apparently there's gonna be people visiting. There's a recoupling finally. The fact that we've only had one true recoupling this entire season is crazy. I think that that's nuts. I think that they're trying to do too much on the show. Go back to the basics. What do you think about the fact that I think that one of the things that really screwed this entire season up was the fact that they brought all the Casa people back. I
Oh, I
that
hated it.
that didn't make any sense to me because you're giving too many people opportunities to stay in the game, and I don't like that. Like it's almost like the show restarted. Like I had watched like Brian have a chat with Jaden. I was like, what the hell is this? I
Yeah,
don't care
no,
about this.
it was like a fluffer, and it definitely ruined everything because it didn't allow the islanders to actually explore the like the other islanders. It because they were coupled up. Even Grayson said she's like, "Do you feel like because we're coupled up, we haven't been able to explore with the other islanders?" And it's like, yeah, Grayson could have had her chance if Pepe from the get-go was just like, "Yeah, even though we're coupled up, I don't want us to actually be coupled up," like she could have
Yeah.
had a relationship with I know she had a crush on TJ. Yeah, TJ's gone now, but like I would have liked to
Yeah.
see more exploration out of them.
Exactly. I think that forcing people to have to couple up in order to not get like left behind was really a terrible idea because it forced us to have these like makeshift love triangles. Like the only true love triangles there were was Clark, and it wasn't a triangle, guys. There was no triangle because Taylor has only ever had eyes for Clark. He does not like Olandria. Okay. It's not a love triangle. It's just Olandria's there and Taylor and Clark are together. But it was Taylor, Clark, and Alandria, and then Nick, Elon, and Sierra. Besides them, like even the whole Shelly and Ace thing, Shelly, Ace, and Chris thing, that could have been something if they let it happen naturally. If Shelly said, I'm going to come back to the villa, I'm not going to bring back anybody. I only like Ace. I can't wait to see him. And then Huda chose to bring Chris back. And then Chris then explored Shelly. That would have been a real thing. But forcing these couplings in order for people to stay in the game, again, it just made it not genuine. And it didn't make it as fun.
Yeah, it didn't allow them to like be their true selves. This is what I'm saying, where I'm like, they're not
Yeah.
being true to themselves because they're kind of being like held back by being
Yeah.
coupled up so soon.
Yeah. What do you
Yeah.
think about Pepe and Iris?
I mean, I guess. I feel like Pepe really liked Hannah.
He loves and misses Hannah. I loved Elander being like, Pepe has a type. And
He
she's
does
blonde.
have a type, and she's blonde and she's white, like not Latina whatsoever. I thought he did like Latinas when he was interested in Adriana, but I was like, oh no, he likes them blonde.
Yeah, exactly. I actually think it's so cute that Hannah has such a hold on these men.
I know Charlie still too. Like I think Charlie still hung up on her. I'm telling you, it's that spit hand fire Hannah. Like
Spit start Hannah. Good for you. And allegedly, apparently, like Hannah said during a podcast interview or something. I don't know. I saw it online. Who knows what she said? She could have said it. Somebody may have, I don't know, misconstrued her word. But she said that she wouldn't spend a lot of time in the dressing rooms. She would wake up in the morning and she would actually go and make breakfast with the guys because she didn't have a lot of stuff to do in the dressing room. So she would just like go downstairs early. And I think that that's maybe one of the reasons why she got kicked off the show also is because the girls felt like Hannah wasn't really hanging out with us. She was just hanging out with the boy that she was with. But she was actually probably hanging out with all of the guys. And so that's
yeah,
why they
she
kicked
was
her off. But
she was the only Love Islander that was playing the game right. Like she was exploring, not closed off. She was still like
yeah.
cuddling, but I'm kind of upset with this season. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Bring back
Still
the
love to
original.
watch though.
You still love to watch. I mean it's somebody's gonna have to spit that 50 or $100,000 with Amaya. I hope it's Brian. Okay. That's those the only two people that I'm really honestly rooting for. I hope that Olandria and Shelly get covered in love and security because people are fucking
Yeah.
insane. Okay. I had Huda fans who are now Chris fans coming after me this week on threads. I was I was told you better shut your
I
mouth before I call ICE and send you back to wherever you came from. Because I said jokingly when Chris was like, I'm standing on business. I could be playing ball overseas. And I said, Sir, you live with your mom. And people are
This is
like,
what I mean. Like, there needs to be like a classroom discussion about just like not having online talk with this show. Like you guys are ruining the show with your comments like that.
yeah, I was joking. I said, You live with your mom. It's a joke. And people are like so mad. Somebody called me the R word. They said, This is what you get when girls who don't understand sports talk about sports. Yeah, I get it. He allegedly plays ball overseas. Both him and Pepe play ball overseas. Guys, that's code for you're not even playing right now. That's code for you don't have a job. Okay. You don't have a job. You need somewhere to be. So you decided to go on Love Island because you don't have a place to stay. Okay. This
And
whole
that's
thing of
okay. Just stand 10 toes down about it. Like, don't lie to me.
exactly, exactly. These men are lying, and you guys are falling for it. And then these guys are coming. Straight men should not be involved in the Love Island discourse. Okay, this is a gay ass show. Okay, stop it.
Go watch your
It's for
sports.
girls
This
and
is my
gays.
sports.
Yeah, you're ruining it. Get out of here. So stupid. I hate it.
I don't
I
know if
don't know
you
what's gonna
listen
happen
to
this week. Yeah,
Raven's podcast. She's been doing
I do.
stellar
I do, and
work
I
on
love them.
covering
Ugh.
every night. I know. I'm like so grateful for her for just like every day coming out right after the episode with her recaps.
Oh,
But
so
she
good.
she said that this last ranking challenge was like sports for her, and I could not have agreed with her more cuz
Yes.
every time they were showing us the ranking, I was like, "Yes! Yes!"
Yes,
Like it
yes,
was
yes.
my
She said
Super Bowl.
she said she got up and she said, "Let's fucking go." She was like her husband watching sports, and I was like, "Yes." As soon as Austin was getting kicked out, I was like, "Yes." I will say this, Olandria, why are you calling Austin your bestie?
Yeah,
Knock
lost
it
points for
off.
me. Yeah.
Get out of here with that, okay? Yeah, this is my sports, and you guys are ruining it. Get out of here. Do you remember last summer? Let's just talk about last summer for a second. Okay, last summer, the summer was going horrifically. Okay, we did not know what the fuck was happening. We had Biden as our nominee. Okay, we were really worried. So we were dissociating. Okay, we had Love Island. And then Kamala Harris was the Democratic nominee, right, for president. And we had like a glimmer of hope. Don't come at me with the anti Kamala stuff. Okay, if you care about that shit, go listen to my episodes from all of last year. My point is, it was a time to be alive because my first thought when that happened was, I wonder if the Highlanders are going to be excited about this. And I was like, and they are because they all seem like good people. Like, I loved watching Love Island last summer. It was so much fun coming on the internet every single night watching Love Island with my people online was just so much fun. It was so exciting. But the way that people are moving right now about Love Island, I actually don't go on my phone until after I'm done watching. Or I just take it to my Instagram stories because people don't know how to act anymore. There's no
No,
decorum
they
on the internet.
spoil it.
They're ruining it. Ugh. Okay, well, I'm going to take a cue from your podcast and I'm going to talk about who's having the best week and the worst week in the villa. Now, you did say that Sierra had the worst week in the villa, and I do agree with you. I think Sierra's week was pretty bad. Who else had a bad week in the villa?
I mean,
Uh,
Olandria's coming up hard second for runner up
ugh,
just because I know there's a recoupling going on. We're recording Sunday morning and Sunday night. We're going to have a recoupling, and I'm pretty sure whoever's left over is going to be dumped out of the island because we got to thin the herd now. Like
yeah. And
too many
honestly,
people.
Alandria, you better pick Elon because there's no reason why Zach needs to stay in the villa. Okay, keep
Yeah.
Elon, keep Elon so that you can go back to Nick. There's no reason for Zach to be here. I do want that decoupling. It honestly is a decoupling more than anything. Okay, obviously I think you and I both agree who the best week ever is for this week on in the island, and it's Amaya.
Amaya Papaya, yeah. I mean, like she's the only islander as well who just left her phone be. Didn't
Yeah.
give it to someone to hand and be like, "Hey, post for me," or like while I'm away. She was just
What
like, "You
is
know what?
that?
It's the normal thing to do. Just leave your phone at home and get all the love when you come back." And that's how it should be.
By the way, last year, do you remember anybody managing these people's social media last year? I don't remember any of that. This is another thing we need to get rid of
No.
for future seasons. What do not keep you posting shit on social media, okay? If you want somebody to post shit on social media for you, give your shit to a producer of the show or something and just say, "You know what, Peacock, you can post whatever you want on my social media to promote the show, but I will not be having one of my fucking stupid ass friends running my social media." Elon, you're on thin ice too, buddy. Now you are gorgeous. You know who else is having a bad week? Nick. He keeps trying to dress like Elon and it's not working for him.
Yeah, the mustache and the hair pulled back. I messaged that to you. I was like, he wants to
Yeah.
be like Elon because he's got everybody. I think the girls are eye Googling on him. a little bit. He's the only like
Yeah.
single guy.
Yeah. And Elon, you're hot, but he did post this whole thing about like, oh, look who's playing tonsil hockey or whatever, who's like deep throating each other in the villa while Elon is staying respectful and kind and da 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 da. All this, I was like, shut the fuck up. You better shut your fucking mouth right now. Get off the internet. Ugh.
I need new
Um,
contracts for next season. Like, leave your phones at home.
yeah. Leave your phones at
We need new
home.
rules.
Yeah, because part of it cannot be that you're going into Love Island and you're going to come back with somebody running your social media who gives you 1 million followers. That's weird. Also, you're buying them. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
I want you to be a nobody. I cannot have somebody who is Instagram famous already. Okay. I cannot, we can't do that. Like, I love the fact that I didn't know anything about Shelly or Alandria or any of these people. Like, I didn't know anything about them before. But like, why am I seeing Sierra do Skims ads? Because she already is like she's like a brand ambassador or something. She's like a social media marketing person. So I don't like any of that. Mm-mm. Apparently,
Yeah.
Nick is a model in South Florida,
And Huda is like a fitness, like
influencer.
IG.
Yeah.
I
So
want real people. That's what I love about Love Island UK. When in the first episode, she's like, everyone's like, I'm a payroll banker. I'm a cat, like, I'm a driver, like I'm an insurance holder. Like they're just like regular fucking people who don't want to be like in the limelight. And that's why it's so good right now.
yeah, like that's why I liked Hannah because she's like, I'm gonna be going to medical school. What? You are? That's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, I liked Hannah for that. Or like, I love Alandria because
Leah with
I
her
love
horses.
Leah with her
Sorry.
horses. Or Alandria. Every time I love that Ian Meeks keeps making jokes about her being an elevator salesperson. That's amazing. Like that's her job. She's an elevator sales. Ugh, that's,
My
that's
my friend has that
hilarious.
same job. It's in New York City. It's actually a lot of fun. Like he gets to
Do
go to
you?
like the new buildings and like he like tries the elevators. It looks fun. It's
Yeah.
hard work. I would like to
No,
talk to her about that.
yeah, exactly. I want to know more about that. And Taylor, I don't believe for a second, like I said it last week, I don't believe for a second you even know how to ride a horse.
No,
Okay.
he plays Fortnite. Didn't you
Yeah,
say that? He looks like he plays
that's
Fortnite
Raven.
all night and probably just
Raven.
feeds the chickens.
uh, well, tonight's a recoupling. We're going to see how that goes. I don't know when you guys are listening to this episode, but I would love to hear, Van, your predictions for who's going to recouple with whom tonight.
Ooh, well, definitely Amaya and Brian, and those are who I'm rooting for. Hopefully, they
Yeah.
win. Nick and Sierra, if Sierra's there, I'm not too sure what the producers are gonna do with her today. Huda with Chris, obviously. Shelly and Ace, and Clark and Taylor will be together. Unfortunately, I think unless Elon and Alandria like form some sort of relationship, because yeah, I don't see Alandria lasting long. And she's like my favorite. Like I do have to point that out.
She is absolutely my favorite also. She's my favorite girl for sure in the villa. I feel like Shelly and Ace function like a couple that's been married for 30 years. And I'll be honest, I don't want to see that on Love Island because that is just too much. I don't like that. Okay. It's exhausting. And I want more for Shelly. And I want Shelly to be with Chris. That's what I want for Shelly. And Ace, maybe you should just be with Huda because I think that's what you've always wanted this whole time.
Yes, that part. I think that's what started the whole Ace not liking Jeremiah was because
Mhm.
he really wanted to explore Huda, and it was Huda's doing of being like very isolated with them.
Yeah, Taylor, and there's a clip of Taylor and Ace both saying very early on that they would love to chat with Huda, but they can't because even though she hasn't said that she's closed off, she's moving like she is closed off. So it's impossible for them to get close to her. So I think that those boys have just always liked Huda. And I think that it's possible that that's maybe why some of the girls don't like her. And I'm not saying that from like those girls are jealous of her, but I think it's because the entire environment of the villa has been very toxic. And I can only blame one person. And I'm going to blame a little bit of Jeremiah too, but Jeremiah, you should have told that girl you were not interested when she told you that she's a mommy mamacita. You were not interested. That was too much for you. You don't want to look like a
It,
dick.
it really shows what men lack too, just being truthful and honest with themselves. You know what
Oh,
I mean? Like Taylor, we had Jeremiah. I'm just like, wow, the bar is really low for men. They can't just be tell us one true honest thing. Like they're just so scared of our reaction. Just fucking
yeah.
be honest.
Just be honest. Just be honest. You don't want to be like a jerk. Well, now it's time for you to be a jerk. And that's why like Ace and Taylor were like losing their mind during the stand on business challenge, getting mad for no reason at all. Relax. Calm down. Um, I think I saw this like person post this like dramatic reenactment of what they think might happen. It was so funny. It was like, they go to like Alandria and she's like, I picked this boy. I'm picking this boy because I just want to see if we still have a spark. And then she says, Nick. And then it cuts to Sierra and she's crying and Nick is happy and Nick looks relieved and he just looks so excited. And then Sierra's breaking down and she's crying. I thought you were my girl. And she's like, no, well, you voted for Taylor to stay. Da 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 da, all this stuff. I was like, that would be amazing, but we're not going to get that. It's not happening.
Yeah. I
It's
know
not
we're
happening. Okay.
blaming a lot on the Islanders, but I'm also blaming production. I need production to do
Totally.
better next year. The fact that they had like a PSA about cyberbullying and then you're going to have Amy Schumer come
Get
on
out of
After
here.
Sun. I was like,
Get
I don't
the
want to see that. Okay. Like, I was so PO'd. I was like, why are you like PSAing cyberbullying and then you're going to put the biggest Zionist, racist person in this entire internet online? I was like, I'm so glad Ariana wasn't there. I'm pretty sure she didn't want to be there either. But
Yeah, I agree with you. In the words of Valerie Cherish, I don't want to see that either. So that's too much. I didn't like that. And then also you did a PSA about bullying and then you're like, we're going to have you guys bully each other. And this
yeah.
whole thing of like the fact that they were like you can put a question mark or you can put your name. No, you should put your name. You have to put your name.
See, another clip that's going to rob me from movie night
Hold on.
cuz I need
Are you talking about Hoda?
I need everybody
Yeah.
to know that she was the one who wrote that about Pepe. Cuz that
Yeah,
would have been a great reveal.
and you know why she wrote it is because she tried to talk to Pepe after Hannah left and Pepe friend zoned her. And that's the only reason she wants to know about Pepe. Oh, are you playing safe? Da 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 da, all this stuff. No, he doesn't like you. Bye.
I know. I don't think she's ever the fact that she said if I'm ugly would have been better. I'm just
Like
like, I
that
don't
that pissed
has
me off.
every guy been just like on your feet? I don't know. I don't think she has a lot of girlfriends. I
No,
worry
she
for Huda.
doesn't. She told us in the
Oh
villa. I only have
yeah.
2 friends out of here. Well, you're about to lose them too, honey. Um, well, man, this is great. We're recording soon, aren't we? We're talking on
Yeah.
are we talking soon? Best week ever?
We're gonna it's gonna be actually the week when Live Island is gonna be done.
Oh, well, we're
So
gonna
I'm
have a
sure
lot to
we'll be
chat about.
talking. Yeah, we'll regroup.
Yeah. We'll regroup on that. Guys, go follow Van everywhere. Tell them where they can find you. And where on social media do you love to be?
Well, you can find me on Instagram, Best Week Ever Podcast. I also have a Patreon where I'm recapping Next Gen NYC, which
So
I'm
good.
having a lot of fun. I know I should
Mhm.
have you on just to talk about one episode because I'm loving the Nepo babies in this storyline.
Mhm. Mhm.
But yeah, you can follow me there on Patreon or Instagram and also Spotify, Apple. I am wherever you stream your favorite podcast, and it's Best Week Ever, where we discuss who's having the worst and best week ever in pop culture.
And you are on Blue Sky, correct?
Yes, I've been having a lot of fun there because I've been recapping. I don't talk about Bravo as much anymore on my main feed on Best Week Ever, but if you love me talking about Real Housewives of Miami, Atlanta, everything Bravo right now, I'm recapping it on Blue Sky.
I think
Trying to
it's
make
time
it
for
fun
me.
there.
No, I know, and everybody says Blue Sky's lovely, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should go over to Blue Sky because Threads is now being infiltrated by men, and I don't want that. No, thank you.
Yeah, I think men are kind of turned off by Blue Sky, so it's a safe space.
Okay, fine. I'll go there. Guys, I'll be back next week to talk about whatever new horrors are persisting in our lives with with the world. And I will be talking about The Valley and Next Gen NYC with Kelly Williams from, of course, Laguna Biatch, the Laguna Biatch. And then I'm gonna, I don't know, talk about Bravo. I guess I'm not gonna be talking about Atlanta because I don't care about reunions anymore. I've decided no more reunion talk. I'm not interested in talking about reunions. Okay, unless something crazy comes out, I'm not talking about it. But I will be talking about Miami because Miami is amazing. But thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Van, for being here. Thank you for listening, everybody. And I'll catch you next time.